Alright guys, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to this community showdown. It's going to be Michu playing the Chaos Dwarfs, facing off against the Ogre Kingdoms with the mysterious challenger here. No way to read his name, but it is going to be a big, thick Kadai Destroyer build here with Zaytan the Black and the Demon Smith Sorcerer. So I don't know if you guys remember Michu, but I played him on ladder maybe about a week and a half ago when I put up the video. He was the player who came in and killed Kotep in like 2 seconds using this forbidden sniping strategy, so it looks like Homeboy, he loves his style, which I respect it, man. You know, he gets a Kadai Destroyer in there, so instantly wins a bunch of points with me, and also a Bull Centaur Tarek, so really, really fun. All right, we got Hobgoblins on the outside, Kadai Destroyer and a Tarek, both anti-large fighters, which are, well, the Kadai Destroyer is an anti-large. It's kind of anti-everything. It just hits hard, but it can fight big stuff. And the Bull Centaur Tarek is a dedicated anti-large fighter with Zaytan on the Lamassu. Pretty good for cheesing lords because he can net you down and silence you as well. So if you have like a healer character or somebody who has like a ward save ability, you can deny them from using that, which is quite good. Spirit Leech and Doom and Darkness. For the Ogres, it's going to be an Ogre Tide. A lot of Ogre Bulls backed up by 2 Light Belchers and a Slaughtermaster of Heavens with Chain Lightning and Wind Blast, both of which are good spells. Wind Blast is pretty good for slowing down Hobgoblins, Hobgoblin Wolf Riders, and Chain Lightning against Dawizar Infantry is very, very good. So outside objective going to be taken by the Pigback Riders. And the Ogres want to play defensively here. Basically, just sit back and defend your Lead Belchers and let them carry you. That's how you want to play this. And just instantly put the Lead Belchers on the Kadai Destroyer here. If Homie doesn't do that, that's going to be a pretty big mistake. But it looks like, yeah, he knows. The boy knows how to watch. And yep, the Kadai Destroyer going to be hemorrhaging HP right there. And yeah, you can use Ogre Bulls to block their advance. Mournfang Cav, Crushers with Grey Uppins would probably be the best call-in the Ogres could possibly do right now. We'll see if they end up doing it. But yes, in the back, the Slaughtermaster of Heavens is waiting in the wings. Ogre Bull's going to be saturating in to help where they can and getting some good HP damage. But here comes the Goon Squad of the Gods. Now, are they going to go after the Slaughtermaster? It looks like that's going to be the case. And yeah, I've been here. I know how this feels. Yeah, this is Suffer City if he comes in for it. But it looks like he's going to be using Zoltor to minus leadership and potentially get in and just break those lines there. All right, so Hobgoblin Wolf Riders get a little bit staggered there by the Slaughtermaster, and it looks like Noblar's coming up to defend. Homie did get Crushers with Grey Uppin, so yeah, honestly, the best call-in option. But he has to micro them well. He can't just leave them AFK back here. He's going to have to get those guys back up in the fight. And now it looks like the Chaos Dwarves going to be ignoring the front line and just charging back here. And they do manage to get on top of some of the Lead Belchers. Meanwhile, up in the sky, the Death Baletor's character taking a little bit of a punch, and a big old net is going to be activated here. Sadistic Snare on the Lead Belchers is now activated, locking those bad boys down. All right, so here comes the Crushers. They've been pulled from reserve to do Glorious Battle, and they will get good value. Granted, they're still going to be in a little bit of Struggle City. They're fighting a lot of really, really strong units, but yeah, as far as anti-large options, if you could like target this blob and then just shoot them with the other Lead Belcher here, it's quite good. So against this Chaos Dwarf build, it's pretty weak on the objectives. You probably would want to get a couple Ogre Bulls and or Pigback Riders and try and triple cap the Chaos Dwarves. When you're playing against single entity cheese builds, you usually want to win on objectives, because oftentimes they will outtrade you on value. Here, the Crushers are getting it. Really nice combo. Enfeebling Foe and Doom and Darkness and Spirit Leech is enough to break their leadership and get them routed off. So far, the Chaos Dwarf Doomstar is working. Isn't that Doomstar? What was that from? Oh, man, Death Clock? Wasn't that one of their songs, or like Doomstar was like part of the TV show? I can't remember. I think it was. Metalocalypse, yeah. Anyways, the other Lead Belcher unit getting hammered, but honestly, all considering all things here, these Lead Belchers are still kind of healthy. 11 of 16 models. They can turn around and start shooting again, providing value, but Doom and Darkness has been making a bit of a comeback. I've had a couple of tournament matches myself where people have really wrecked me with Doom and Darkness, and they come in, they take a big fight, and you get punished really, really badly here. So Afflictions are on, the Withering to lower leadership. I love to see it. So another leadership discouraging effect from Zoltor. Pigback Riders will be effective here. And the other Lead Belchers are online, and this is a great choice. Honestly, the Ogre player is doing a really good job calling in like solid answers. Some of the positioning is a little bit off, but overall, yeah, getting Powder Guts to just rip pistol shots into big targets is exactly what you want to be doing. Kadai Destroyer value so far is about 1,000. He's going to be moving in, and we got the T-Rex with the shaking glass of water here. The Ogre's used to being the bigger dogs, but Kadai Destroyer is a pretty menacing creature, and here it comes, eating more Powder Gut shots, sitting at about 3,000 HP, so still pretty meaty. Ogre's going to be coming in to try and peel that off. Meanwhile, in the backfield, the Powder Gut's going to be getting attacked by Zoltor and by the Bull Centaur Taruk. Really cost-effective, honestly. Lamassus are good against light armor, and 40 armor on the Powder Guts is, you know, a great target for a Lamassu. And on top of that, the Taruk is going to be a dedicated anti-large duelist. So Homie is going to be able to get in here and beat down some of these big boys, and you will see the Powder Guts units going down here. However, Kadai Destroyer gets bullied. He does get prison shanked by the Noblars and a mass amount of Ogre Bulls. And looks like the Lead Belchers were able to get some good shots on the way in. So Homie is going to be disintegrating here. Value trading pretty close in this game. Michu does have the Hobgoblin Hordes, so this is obviously very synergistic with his playstyle. Use these single entities to value trade and then play Genghis Khan with all of your Hobgoblins, basically. Just, move them around, steal the objectives. Because they have 4 objective each, and he's using the arrows to pepper them up and some Kadai Fireborn and Spear Riders to run down the remnants of those units, which is very, very clever. But the Kadai Destroyer does fall. Poor little guy. He deserved better, but he tried. And on this side, the Blood Vultures trying to peel these units off, but it looks like the single entity squad of the Chaos Dwarves able to successfully remove most of the Lead Belcher presence. Although there are a couple left over here, which I would assume are going to get rode down by Michu's Hobgoblins here. So those bad boys are on their way in. Chain Lightning activated over on the other side. Here comes the Hobgoblins, and they're going to get a nice little charge right there. There they go. Beautiful stuff. And Pigback Riders or regular Noblars will be able to peel them off. Lead Belchers might be able to stabilize. We will see. Slaughtermaster retreating, being hunted by the Genghis Khan hordes of Hobgoblins. The Hobgoblin Khanate is here. But that is going to be at least one objective for the Chaos Dwarves, which is huge and going to keep them in the game. If they were triple caps, the whole time, they'd be up they'd be down on points real bad, and the Ogres could maybe win in a Helm's Deep in the late game. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. Powder Chads do stabilize, and Powder Guts are one of the better single entity tools that the Ogres do have. They're really good because they're really fighty in melee. Like if somebody attacks them, they don't really care too much. They can hold, they can hang, they can bang, they can do their thing. And yeah, these Powder Guts here are a menace. So outside, we got Gold's Man-Eaters versus the Kadai Fireborn. Kind of an even fight, to be honest. Gold's Man-Eaters, I think, have slightly better stats and more HP, so they probably win that, although Fizzrez is on the side of the other units. We'll have to see how that all plays out, but yep, Gold's Man-Eaters are not terrible against Chaos Dwarves because of the fact that they have really good anti-infantry against the Dawizar trooper lines. Lead Belchers turning about face, going to get smacked by a Spirit Leech here, and then probably by some breath attacks. They're going to put their feet down and fire one more payload before they go quietly into the good night. And they do rip a volley shot onto the Kadai Fireborn. Looks like they missed both their shots and are going to get broken. All right, big pit fight back here, guys. Gold's Man-Eaters, Slaughtermaster, as well as some Blood Vultures are swarming in. Blood Vultures getting a rear charge on the Hobgoblins is great. They only have 26 melee defense. Blood Vultures do have 35 melee attack. With the rear charge and the charge bonus of 24, they should melt them rather quickly. And this is going to be a losing fight for the Chaos Dwarves unless they come over with Zoltan and the Demon Smith Sorcerer and just finish off the Ogre Lord. That would probably honestly end the game. I think if the Ogre Lord gets sniped out, that would probably be enough. Because a lot of the value that the Ogres do have in the gold advantage you see here is tied up in damage that they have done to the Demon Smith and to Zoltan. Both of whom are still functional and on the battlefield, right? All right, so Spirit Leech activated. This man's going to be wavering, getting hunted right here. And ladies and gentlemen, we do see objective number 1 being held by Chaos Dwarves. Ironically, they're the Ogre's home objective. Powder Guts trying to save here. And look, if this guy can rally and get like a meat feast and get the Powder Guts to, pick off Zoltar here, that Zoltaro, I don't know, we're just making up new names for him every 5 minutes. That could be pretty big. He's trying to run, he's wavering, and is being hunted very heavily by the Demon Smith character. 2,700 on Zoltan. Zoltan does have a leadership aura as well, the Boundless Cruelty ability. It depends, it scales, but right now it's not doing anything, but effect increases with each enemy entity in range, Better against blobs, but Slaughtermaster Man is going to get hunted and chased. Meanwhile, the Powder Guts, as well as these Ogre Bulls, trying to fight off the Demon Smith Sorcerer. So let's take a bit of a macro look at the battlefield. Ogres on the way back to get their home objective. In the middle point, Ogres do have Pigback Riders and Ogre Bulls. A great combo, because a Pigback Rider and an Ogre Bull will be able to defeat a Kadai Fireborn, assuming they're all healthy when the fighting starts. Pigback Riders with their anti-large, and Ogres honestly hit pretty hard, even on their baseline units. And yeah, with the Pigback Riders being injured, though, running away here, the Kadai Fireborn might be able to win that fight. Bull Centaur Tark needs to get rallied over here from our Ogre Chad. He needs to move them in and attack those guys here. In the meantime, it looks like a Spirit Leech was used, and Zoltan has successfully chased off the Ogre Lord off the battlefield, which is really big. Ogres have good leadership on their baseline units. It's not bad. It's like 70, I think. No, it's only 60. But they're chaff units. Like the Noblars are really pitiful in their baseline leadership at 45. So when those guys get a Lord penalty, they tend to suffer pretty bad. All right, guys. Objective 1 is flipping. It's going to be tough for the Dawizar to get these objectives back, man. Not going to be easy. But, oh, the Ogre Lord does rally, but he does notice it, and it looks like there's no meat feast in the back pocket. So Zoltar is going to come in, and is he going to get it done? He does. 400 HP, negative 32. This man is down to 84, and I think that the Lamassu is going to get it done. Oh, the melee defense holds firm there. Lamassus are such cool creatures. Look at that thing. I think in the lore, Lamassus are like mutated Bale horses, right? Or something like that. I could swear there's something in that vein. All right, guys, coming on up are Lead Belchers to try and secure the back point. And oh my god, the Chaos Dwarfs held it, actually. Wow, look at that. It is going to end up flipping, though. And the Dwarfs are in the process of getting the back objective back. So Hobgoblins will be able to get this. Oh, yeah, it's probably GG. With the Ogre Lord being gone, the Kadai Destroyer being back online, and then also, yeah, Zoltor and the other Sorcerer characters still being here is a little bit too much to handle, I think. Granted, Ogres do have a decent little points lead. So back objectives does get taken. In the middle, the Giga Chad Destroyer is taking it like a champ, and he's got a lot of HP to work with, that's for sure. Going to be fighting with some Hobgoblins. He's trying to push through Ogres. Ogres have insane mass, so pushing through Ogre units is very tricky. Kadai Destroyer has earned some chevrons, it looks like, in its first life, losing some HP there, but capture weight does start to go back for the Chaos Dwarf. Zoltor is on his way. Shooting is going to be shut down by the Demon Smith Sorcerer on the Bale Taurus. Spirit Leech and Terror is going to be on the card, so really, really nice pick there, because if you just shut down the shooting, then it's just Cackle City, and now there's going to be 8 more capture weight coming in. I just don't think the Ogres can stand up to this. The Powder Guts are offline, the Lead Belchers are offline, and the Chaos Dwarves are going to get, if they get this objective back here, like in the near future, in the next, minute or two, they will be able to win on just 2 objectives. They'll be comfortable enough to do that, and at that point, I think it's just game over. Hobgoblins on their way. Gold's Maneaters are cruising. Can the Ogres rally here and stabilize? Zoltor's negative leadership aura should be decent now. Yeah, it's going to be -3 leadership, which isn't like amazing, but it's also not insignificant. So capture weight's cruising. Bull Centaur Tarek is in. A couple Hobgoblins in the backfield, not sure where they're going. Maybe trying to chase down the Lead Belchers to make sure they don't return. These are just Noblars here. So 2 Hobgoblins plus the Demon Smith could probably go to Objective 1 and steal that without any real issues. And with the leadership discouraging here, Kadai Fireborn, Bull Centaur Tarek, this fight with the Destroyer in there just kind of slapping the base, I'm pretty sure this fight just goes to the Chaos Dwarves pretty decisively. Yeah, and then there's the Doom and Darkness there too. Really, really cool to see that in action. So now the Chunguses are holding on their back point, and the Chunguses would win on just 1 here. They do need to Helm's Deep on their back objective. So the Chaos Dwarves get that one. Ogres with a little bit of cheeky backcapping here, which is something Ogres do very, very well. Advancing in our Dowies, our Warriors. But yeah, the Chaos Dwarves are going to have to get this back point. I think he realizes this. He's coming across with Zoltan, the Sorcerer Prophet, and the Big Dog. Kadai Destroyer is going to be in the mix. Back objective to stabilize right now. And now it's just all hands on deck to try and get this back objective. Meanwhile, in the woods, unpaid interns are coming. Paid in exposure to flames, death, and destruction. And Noblars. Yes, Noblars are going to be trying to screen them out if they can. Ogres need to hold for a while. What do they have coming in? Pigback Riders? That's a good choice. There's a ton of mobility here, and also some Ogre Bulls who have good capture weight. But yeah, basically you're just all hands on deck spamming this objective. All right, so the Pigback Riders get obliterated here, and it makes sense. Leadership penalty from Zoltor, as well as the fact that there's no Lord for the Ogre army, is going to make them incredibly flimsy. You can see all the stacking penalties there is very, very brutal. All right, guys, cruising on up is the Demon Smith Sorcerer. Moving back here, Goblin Laborers, Goblin Laborers. A lot of capture weight coming in, and I think the Gambit on the back objective has been dealt with. Yeah, the remnants of the Ogre units, not really going to be an issue with some unpaid interns back there dealing with that. And here comes the Leadership Bomb. I don't know about the Winds of Magic situation. The Doom and Darkness could be really good. It looks like, a Hobgoblin unit over there. I mean, that if the game gets really close, Michu could lose because he AFK'd a 4 capture weight unit in the back of the map. Archers charging in, but don't want to be charging pigbacks. You got a little bit of time to work with. You know, this isn't like super, it's not like he's at like 1450 points. You still have 2 minutes to get in here and grind it down. And with this Leadership Bomb, I think it's very, very possible. So, and yeah, also reinforcements coming from the woods. That's going to be Trixie Hobbitses indeed. Zoltan sitting at 500 leadership. Very, very tight there. Ogres do have some Powder Guts and Pigback Riders there. The middle objective is abandoned right now, so you got to be careful and react to that if need be. Here comes Blood Vultures. Using Blood Vultures to try and chase down Zaytan wouldn't be a bad idea. But the capture weight is going, and look at that. Mass leadership destruction as the monstrosities of the Dawizar continue. Oh, Kadai Roar. Yes, that's what it's all about right there, guys. All right, a little bit of fast forwarding here, and it looks like Michu is going to get it done. Middle objective in flux. A little bit of Shady McGrady business over there. You do see these guys move it in, but the Kadai Fireborn and the interns should be able to get there quick enough, and they do. And right now, it's going to be a point here basically where the Chaos Dwarves can just win on 2 objectives. So that is GG well played. What a fun match. It was really cool, huh? Like big single entities while using like the Genghis Khan tactics with the Hobgoblins. Good flavor for sure. And, you know, the Ogre player didn't do badly. He called in the right stuff. I think he could have reacted a little bit quicker on a few things, but aside from that, I thought he did totally fine and had the Powder Guts, had the Crushers, was able to put some pressure on the big stuff. Yeah, GG well played. Value, 1,500, 900, 3,100 on the Bale Taurus Chad, 3,800 granted with 2 summons on the Destroyer. And aside from that, we got to see some Kadai in action, and yeah, good times for all. Powder Guts got 3,400, Lead Belcher's got about 900 and 1,100 right there. All right, guys, GG, well played. Thank you to Michu for sending in the replay, and we'll see you guys on the other side.